Call the meeting to order. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk, call the roll, please.
Connor.
Here.
Erie.
Here.
McMullen.
Here.
Reed.
Here.
Mayor Bedine.
Here. Are there any changes to the agenda? Then we'll go on. At this time, we'll take public comment. If you have any comments for council, please come to the front and state your name, and then you have a 3-minute time limit.
I'll let you know when you've got 30 seconds left, okay?
I'm gonna make this brief. I'm glad to see some changes are coming in the community. Whether it's Natasha Flipson. One thing I'd like to address is the Safety Act is not our friend. I wanna know from the elderly down to the small children how we're safe, how we're gonna be protected by the police when somebody decides to be a squatter on our property. What is our privileges? What is our rights? How will we deal with these things? Our community needs to know from our city council, how are we gonna address this? Because if the law doesn't have our back and they're gonna be allowed to squat anywhere they choose, because the law now states that we can't, if somebody takes over your garage or your home, you can't remove them. They're gonna get a ticket. I don't understand how this is gonna be safe for our community. One thing I also would like to address is our vacant homes. One property in particular, it's near Northwell. That grass hasn't been cut all summer. I know we have laws, I know the house is vacant, but it's the face of our town. Our visitors see it. I know, used to be, maybe this is maybe beyond my recollection, after a certain time frame, the city would come out and mow, and they'd get a ticket with the fine of mowing. I know we look at Ottawa as a standard where we should keep our community. I think we should look in Livingston County where Dwight, Pontiac, some of their community areas are a little bit cleaner. Take some pride in our community. I know we've had firebugs, and with the amount of vacant homes, condemned homes, I'm afraid we're gonna see it again. I see a lot of issues with the property on Bloomington Street. I know it was raided not that long ago. It has motion, which means it's a stash house, whether from robberies or drugs. How many other homes that were raided are vacant or even listed for the market that they're utilizing to put stuff in after they rob someone? And I'm just one person, one citizen, and this is what I see. Now, if I can see it, the other people surrounding their homes, they can see it too. But I don't know what our answer is with the Safety Act. The cops' hands are tied, and we're not safe. That's all I want to say.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And yes, I would agree. I think a lot of people see flaws in the Safety Act, unfortunately. So, you know, the new cash bail just started, and
I just want the citizens to hear from you how you have our back on how we're going to be protected.
Well, kind of the same as we've been working towards. We're working still on getting our license plate reader cameras up so that we can identify anyone coming into or leaving our community. We've been working on hiring police officers. I know our headcount's increased this past year. We've done 3 rounds of hiring with them, and we're gonna just continue to do what we can to support our department and work our way through it, just like every other community. So, it's
I can answer your question regarding trespassing. It was one of the provisions of the Safety Act, because there was always a concern about criminal trespass. Since it's a Class B misdemeanor, it was something that we thought we'd just get a ticket and we couldn't do anything. The provisions of the law have changed to where now if it's a criminal trespass to real property, not residence, but real property, it's still a Class B misdemeanor. We would issue a citation. If the person refuses to leave, then they can be physically arrested. They'll go to the county jail.
Okay.
So,
But that's where we
yes.
need to communicate to the
Yes, that was,
citizens.
because that was a concern when the law was first enacted, of we couldn't do anything. They had since through revisions gone through that, changed that to where we can act on it.
Okay. But I just want you guys to be able to tell the community, because I know it's recorded, people look back and be able to see what happened. But we need to have your backing and verbally as well, we're safe.
Thank you for that. I was gonna save it for the end, but and you mentioned vacant housing as well. We received word Friday, or maybe Monday this week, that we are receiving another $73,000 from the Strong Communities Grants Program through the IHDA, which we can use to help them demolish some of the vacant homes that are becoming an issue for us. So that's another, we keep, I think every couple of years we are successful in acquiring that grant, and we just keep taking them off our list and working through them.
I know it's, if I'm seeing it, I know others do too, whether they speak it or not.
Well, thank you again. Are there any other public comments for tonight?
Sir, I'll let you know when you have 30 seconds left.
Yeah, I just Bill Lomack, we're still near Streator. Obviously, I moved here about, it's a year ago. Anyway, though, it's involving, the pet park, though, actually, the dog park, though. And I'll start out, though, saying the police department does a fine job, though. They try to do their homework and that, though, and take care of, accidents and missing people and, fires and stuff like that, and try to keep the peace of this community down pretty good. And another thing is that they also try to find dogs too, missing dogs. That's another thing, another work. And another thing, though, this kind of goes with it, though, is that children at night, though, require light school to play into the baseball field diamonds, football field diamonds. You don't want your kids to be in the dark if we play a game or something like that. And I think to myself, the pets, the way, should have the same rights, the way, where they can go to a park, though, and enjoy themselves. And a season like this, though, where the days are getting shorter, and nights are getting longer, some of their masters cannot even get out there to put their dogs in the park, though, because it's dark already. And if they do, they're not supposed to be there. And I had a dog about a year and a half ago. She died of cancer, but twice a day we go out there to the dog park after I retired, and we played out there. When I lost her because she had cancer. She had just died. I imagine some of you got dogs and animals yourselves, so that have died or don't go to a park. You don't want them to run around the streets either loose. That's against the law too. But the thing was, though, I had a woman, though, that twice this last month, she was actually took her dog to the dog park, but it was 8 o'clock in the evening. She sometimes worked 10 hours a day. And the cops would come up there and they would talk to her, and they would give her the 3rd degree, though, that she's not supposed to be there after dark.
And about
And why?
30 seconds left.
Because there's no lights there. I know about 2 or 3 years ago, we actually had a petition out, though, to put lights there, but this council actually turned it down. It was by Tony. And outside of that, that's about it, really. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Any other comments for tonight? Seeing none, oh, you have one? Sorry, I didn't see you, get up.
I'll let you know when you've got 30 seconds left.
Cinnabon. I was coming here tonight, of course, I'm late finding things out, but I want to give a little hurrah to Friends of the Library. Friends of the Library Week is October 15th through the 21st, I believe.
Yes.
And our friends have been in existence for like 20 years now. We support library. Our next big project is, of course, the book giveaway for downtown trick or treat. We do May baskets, so we have some funds to sponsor the prizes for summer reading, author visits, and just try to get more people interested. Thank you.
I'd like to echo what you said. The Friends of the Library is one of those organizations that just week after week, year after year, they're behind the scenes, they're doing things, and you don't ever get enough credit. So, thank you from me.
All right, any other public comments? Okay, we'll go on to new business. So item 1 is ordinance 2023-16, amending the Streator Municipal Code of Ordinances to amend section 4.12200 concerning hours when packaged sales of alcoholic liquor are permitted. Get a motion and second.
So moved. Second.
Okay, Tim with the motion and Dee Reed with the second. Any discussion? This
This is just for packaged liquor.
just for packaged liquor.
That's cheap. If we're not gonna do it for everybody, I don't wanna do it at all, because I don't wanna create separate things for inside a certain group. So to me, I was gonna brought it up, but if we're not gonna do it at the same time for our liquor license holders, then don't change it at all. Because I don't wanna get into, well, you did it for them, but you won't do it for us and stuff. My reasoning was, you have restaurants in town that do a brunch, but they don't start till 10. If they can start earlier, they might be able to get more people in. There's people that might wanna have some kind of beverage with their breakfast.
This one, for the audience, is allowing, right now, no alcohol sales are allowed before 10 a.m. on Sunday, and it would move packaged liquor only till 8 a.m. on Sundays, which is the,
6 a.m.
sorry, 6 a.m. Why? I keep thinking 8 a.m.
Well, no, the ordinance is for 6 a.m. or 8
Right,
a.m.
no, for 6.
It should be
Between
8.
2 and 6, and then between 2 and 6. That's what we discussed at COW.
Hours of, yes, at certain times between the hours of 2 and 6 a.m. Monday through Saturday, and 2 and 10 on Sundays.
Oh, so you're changing to 6 a.m.
For the package sale.
I mean, I think it would benefit people if you got, family get together out of town and you leave in town at 8 a.m. grab a beer or whatever, or going to a football game.
I understand that, that's why I don't wanna separate the one group of liquor license holders from everybody.
In discussions, we had, talked about, do we want bars necessarily opening at 6 on a Sunday versus going to the grocery store, getting, picking something up to go to out of town.
What's the
or
difference though
whatever.
between going to pick something up or going to a bar?
Consumption.
Well, yeah, but I mean, from not wanting them to open up as early,
They can still open up at 6, right, if they want, they just can't.
they can't serve me alcohol
Can't serve.
until 10.
Will this make it so that the machines would turn on at 6 then too on Sundays?
If, only for, no, if it, that would only be because of package liquor. Or, so as, you can't do package liquor and have the gaming license. You have to have a board license for the gaming
No.
portion.
I didn't know if that was separate.
Well, any-
Do we want to table this so we can discuss it at the cow meeting?
That'd be all right.
If we want.
If you guys want to, if not, if you wanna vote on it, you can vote on it. If you wanna discuss it further.
I don't think my opinion will change, but if you guys want to table it,
My only other question was, our current ordinance says, no licensee shall sell. It specifically calls out class A, B, and D, and I wasn't sure if we needed to call out all the classes with how this was written.
I think the other classes might not,
Like CD was craft distiller, and then we just added the 3 last month.
Right,
and
the
LP
special
and
class.
LC.
It won't be affected either way.
I
I
don't
don't
think
think
it
the
would be
venues.
affected.
Yeah.
the brewer could.
Because I think on those, they have to stop at midnight for that special event.
Okay, so motion to table? We had a motion to,
We
motion
have a
second
motion
to
and a
adopt.
second on the floor. We have to deal with first.
We need to remove or have to close that. What would you share?
If Mr. Gary will make, withdraw his motion,
I'll
and
withdraw.
Mr. Reed will
And I
withdraw
will
the second.
withdraw my second. Now you
Just
can
want
make
to
a motion to
take
rescind
the
it to
motion
table.
and second, so there's no action on the motion.
Okay.
And then we have a motion to table by Mr. Gary.
And I will second the motion to table.
And then we need to vote to table.
Yes.
Okay, Patty, when you're ready, call the roll.
Connor,
Aye.
Gary, McMullen,
Aye.
Reed,
Aye.
Mayor Beat.
Aye. Item 2 is motion to approve the City of Streator 5-year road plan. Get a motion and second.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, so Moose with the motion and Tim with the second. And discussion. Jeremy, if you wanna give us a quick summary?
Yep, thank you. So, we talked about it at the committee of the whole last week, but basically, looking for direction as to which of the 2 presented road plans, you'd like to approve. The road plan, I'll call it A, would keep next year's program as intended, or as, it was approved last year, where it would be a brick reconstruction of West Grant and West LaRue. So you'd have brick streets remaining on, Grant LaRue from Bloomington over to Van Buren. That was approved several years ago, by a previous council. I looked at the options. If you were to, switch that to an overlay, still with curb and gutter, so both streets, LaRue and Grant would still get new curb and gutter and overlay the brick. You could add Baker Street in next year for an overlay up there by North Lawn. And then, moving things down, you could also get a couple of streets moved up. North Everett, the 1300, 1400 block, and East Route Plum, the 600 and 700 can move up a year. And you could get a couple of smaller streets out in year 27. So, it's an aesthetic question for the council. If you'd like to keep those brick streets, we can, and you have that as the first one, and then you've got the second one if we just want to overlay the bricks as we've done in the past for other streets. You can get some more work done. So, pleasure of the council.
So our decision is A or B.
Yes.
When you do the brick repair, are you replacing the curb and gutter?
Yes. So, yeah,
So either way, it's gonna be curb and gutter.
It's gonna be new curb and gutter for either way, and it'll just whether or not it ends up being brick or asphalt when you're done.
Now, was it Stanton that was re-bricked?
Yeah, the 100 block of West Stanton.
And in your opinion, how did that hold out? Because that was the big question is.
It's held up well.
Hold
I said-
out like the original brick.
Yeah, so
streets.
it's held up well, as we put a big base underneath it. The one thing I did learn is, I think if we do proceed with brick is, we'll do some concrete pavement, underneath it at the, intersection with, 23. That's where I'm starting to see some pushing down where the cars stop over and over and over again. So, learned something, but I think all in all, it's held up well over the last 4 or 5 years, so.
So does our motion, do we need to have?
I was just thinking about that. So, Mr. Connor, would you like to amend your motion to reference option A or option B?
A
Sure.
is brick and B would be to.
I will make a motion to accept option B.
Mr. Gary, do you keep your second on that?
All except for B.
Okay.
Or you can, the big decision is going to be the correction. Which would be A.
If we do the overlay, we get a lot
A lot
more
more.
for our
Yeah.
money,
Right.
which is,
I just didn't know if we were voting on both regardless.
It moves Baker Street up, which really needs it with all the traffic it gets.
yeah. As much as I like the brick streets and the heritage of Streator with the brickyards, I think we have to be good stewards of the taxpayers' money and get as much money, much work done as we can for the same amount of money, so.
And they'll still be down there supporting the road, so the hard work is not lost on those bricks.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm a big fan of the brick, so I'm probably gonna be the one to nay on this one. I approve roads, but I like the brick because I just think it's our heritage. I know we wanna, I'm all for saving money, but there's some times where I think I don't want us to lose things either, so. That, if there's no further discussion, I'll have the clerk call the roll.
Connor,
Aye.
Gary.
Aye.
McMullen,
Aye.
Reed,
Aye.
Garrity, aye.
Nay. Okay, item 3, consent agenda. Can I get a motion and second to approve the consent agenda with fund warrant totals of $1,072,455.29. And that include permission from organizations, collecting funds downtown on Main Street, a rummage sale waiver for a citywide rummage sale. Get a motion and second.
Motion.
Matt with the motion and Tim with the seconds, right?
Okay, Tara, I didn't hear that.
Okay, this is the
Matt
fund
made the
warrant.
motion. Tim made
Oh,
the
sorry, yeah, Matt made the motion and Tim seconded.
Right, and then the only other thing was she mentioned the fund total on the.
Right.
Fund total.
The fund total, the downtown, collection of funds and the rummage sale waiver. That's at least how I worded that one. Right, any discussion? Okay.
Yeah. Do we have requirements for any groups that are collecting money in the streets to make sure they have reflective vests on, reflective, high-vis clothing, so they're safer out there in the intersections?
I don't think we do have it. Probably not a bad idea to have.
I've never seen a group doing it without it, but.
I've seen
I don't-
some out there without it, but
Have you?
most of them do have something,
Yeah.
Credit their bravery.
especially in this.
Can we give permission with the request that they wear reflective vests?
Well, the consent agenda has already been
Yeah.
announced, so you can't really change it now.
Right. Well, we can
No,
ask
we
that they
can-
wear reflective
Yeah,
clothing whenever they
exactly.
submit things.
You can pass that ordinance whenever
Yeah.
we get around to it.
Yeah.
Then, any other discussion? Okay, clerk, call the roll, please.
Connor,
Aye.
Gary,
Aye.
McMullen,
Aye.
Reed,
Aye.
Garrity, aye.
Aye. Item 4, city official comments. You wanna start, Tim? Do you have anything?
I would like to remind everybody that the Streator Public Library is going to be having an open house on Saturday, the 23rd, which is a Saturday coming up. We've recently restored the dome and the murals that are up in the dome, and so we're gonna have a ribbon cutting and an open house, tours of the library, give you some history of the library. There's gonna be some light refreshments. That's from 10 to noon on Saturday, so please stop by. We're very, very proud of how that turned out.
Nice job.
Thank you. You've seen it then.
It's beautiful.
Nope.
Okay, I just have a couple things. I had already mentioned the $73,000 Strong Communities grant. We are looking at applying for a second housing rehabilitation grant. We were awarded one about a year and a half ago, and we're working through that now, but it was restricted to 2 census parcels within the city. This one would be available to anyone within city limits, so you're not restricted to a certain neighborhood. There are income requirements with that, but we're requesting that if you would be interested and possibly qualify, to please contact the city, so that we can give you a survey. We need at least 75 people to complete the survey for us to score well and try to get the grant for the next time. We are working on a park strategic plan, and there's going to be a session on that with the Parks Board October 3rd coming up. We had approved an agreement earlier this year with Connexus to do iFiber to homes, and you'll start to see them doing their construction throughout the community, but that'll be a fiber internet available to homeowners or residential clients. Previously, it was just governmental or business. I do want to mention, I was going to mention the library, and that.
I just did.
Yeah, so you covered that for me, and of course, the that artwork has not been seen like that since the 1940s, so it's quite a amazing improvement. So,
There was a fire in 1945, it was an oil fire, so it really damaged those murals because smoke went up and gathered into the rotunda, so yeah, you're right.
it's something to see, yeah. And then in other news, we have hired 2 firefighters to the Streator Fire Department as of last week. So that takes us to the 15th firemen when both of them go through their official academy training. So we were able to pay down some debt and free up some more money in the budget that would allow us to hire some more, which is always a good thing. With that, is I will request a motion and second to adjourn.
So
Second.
Dave with the motion and Matt with the second. Clerk, call the roll, please.
Connor,
Aye.
Gary,
Aye.
McMullen,
Aye.
Reed,
aye.
Mayor Beat, aye.
Aye. Adjourned.
Gary, you want to-
Yes. I'm gonna go on one other day, but we didn't want